Hey, sorry I'm not wearing my pirate hat, this is spur of the moment, but is your sleep schedule broken? Do you absolutely suck at going to bed at an early time and waking up at an early time? Well, it's it's an adjustment for sure, but it's not healthy for you in any way, shape, or form. Humans are not nocturnal, we are diurnal, and it's hard not to want to stay up at night because it's mysterious and it's fun, and if everyone else is in bed then you get a lot of alone time. And I romanticize nighttime. I think a lot of people do. It's just so great, but you can enjoy it without staying up all freaking night. So if you want to fix your sleep schedule, the best thing to do is to walk it back a half an hour for a few nights, and then do it again and do it again. Like, say you go to bed at 2 in the morning and you tend to wake up at like noon, which is what I used to do. Try to get in bed by 1 or 1:30 and set your alarm for 11. And that is not easy, by the way. It's an adjustment, even if you get the exact same amount of sleep, even if you are tired and get in bed when you're tired and then wake up at a time that would still give you the same hours of sleep, it's still going to be weird for your brain. So you want to do that for a few nights. Then once you're comfortable, walk it back again and again until you get to like 11 or 10:30 and you can wake up around 8, which is what I'm doing now. Lately I've not been falling asleep until 11:30 or midnight, but I at least try to get in bed by 11. It was 10:30, but yeah, sometimes I wake up at 7:30 and I just stay up then, and if not, then my alarm wakes me up at 8 or 8:15, which is a lot better than from 2 to 12. But it is worth it. And another thing that makes it hard is because if you're like me, it's kind of depressing because I love nighttime, and you're like, oh my god, well, no more nighttime. I feel like a total pleb going to bed earlier and earlier. Like when you start going to bed at like 10:30, for a while that's going to feel really just stupid, or you're just going to feel kind of depressed, or like you're wasting life or something. But when you get up in the morning and you see more daylight, it is such a strong cure for any of that. The balance that it brings evens that out very nicely. And if you're on an antidepressant like I am, depending on the individual and the medication, that is going to mess that up a lot. So I used to take my antidepressant at nighttime, and that made it a lot harder to get to bed earlier, and I would have a very, very tough time waking up in the morning. So I switched gradually, about half an hour every couple of days, same like you would do with adjusting the sleep schedule. I very, very gradually moved it until now I take all of my medication when I get up in the morning. At a relatively consistent time, around 9 or 9:30, I have my pills. So doing that makes it much, much easier to fall asleep at night at a reasonable time, and much less difficult to wake up in the morning. So that's my advice, is to walk it back. It's going to be a little hard on you, but it's very much worth it, and just something that you have to work at and be consistent with. And if you have a few slip backs, that's all right, but don't let that become your normal again. You have to be determined to power through that, because it is not easy in any way, shape, or form to do this, okay? And you're not going to fix yourself by saying, you know what, I got up at noon today, but I'm going to bed at 10 tonight. That's not going to work. That is not going to work. You're just going to stress yourself out. So just do it a little bit at a time. Ease yourself into it. Is very much worth it. And actually I noticed after I started to after I started to ease myself back, going to bed early and earlier got way easier. So I very much like knowing that it's bedtime and getting tired around 10 o'clock and being like, okay, I'm gonna start preparing myself to be in bed by like 10:45, and I do my nighttime chores, and then I go, and it's a lot nicer. I fall asleep so much faster. Way faster than I ever used to. Ever. It used to take me like 2 hours to fall asleep, and now it's pretty much just like 20 minutes. I think I'm gone, if that. So if you also try to look at stuff on your phone before you fall asleep because you think that might somehow help, it could honestly be making problems worse. For me, it's not really an issue because, like I said, I conk out in 20 minutes as soon as I put my phone down. But Milo, no. Stop that. God, my dogs are stupid. Come on. Phones and televisions produce blue light, which it affects your brain a certain way. I don't really remember the details, but it does make sleeping harder. So if you have issues with electronics, Milo, put it down. Get in the house. Bad dog. If you have issues and you use electronics before bed and you have a hard time falling asleep, try to not use electronics at least 20 minutes before you try to go to sleep, which might be a little bit of an adjustment too, believe me. So, yeah, and make sure you will get the most restful sleep if you have virtually no light in your room while you're sleeping, as minimal as possible. As for insomnia, I don't know. I do not know how to help with insomnia. All I know is walking back your sleep schedule and walking back your antidepressant. I hope this is somewhat helpful. I am not an expert. I am not a doctor. Please look at more ways, and if you can, talk with a health professional if you have severe issues with it, or if my advice doesn't work, because individuals. So, hope this helps.